Welcome to the Whiskey Vault.
I'm Daniel.
Rex.
This is another gift from magnificent bastard David Moskowitz.
Wow, this is...
He sent 4 in a box.
He's got a... Okay. David Moskowitz, you magnificent bastard.
It might have been more, but I know
American
about
Fifth Spirits, the Bourbon.
Bourbon.
Big, beautiful...
This is
buckets
young
of
from what
bourbon.
I've looked up, but
Beautiful.
this is
Bourbon.
all stuff they made.
Yes.
It is a 4-grain bourbon.
Okay.
It is 23 months old, so almost 2 years. And man, this plastic is really just shredding. And it is from Lansing, Michigan.
Okay. Michigan represent. Is he from Michigan? You got
I don't know. I'm guessing.
Okay.
But look, I like this flavor profile sketch.
Yeah.
We used that wheel in a tasting book that I built because I love to be able to see the shape of something, and it helps me compare it to other shapes of things. And I've used that to discover similarities from bourbons to malts and things because the shape of the whiskey.
Okay.
Whoa, that is the
is
most perfumey.
Sugary for me. Very,
Yeah.
very, almost pixie sticks
But
sugary.
it's dense, and it's like not aerosol. Is it aerosol? Like a spray perfume, like the little,
Yeah.
like you
spritz?
can imagine a spritzer. Yeah,
It's,
it's dense.
It's like the Smarties, it's the Pixie Sticks, it's like that level of sugar sweetness on the nose for me, along with like a faint accent of some cherry in the background.
If it's a cherry,
And then there's an oakiness right in the middle of that.
if it's a cherry, it's like a lollipop cherry.
Yeah.
Like hard candy cherry. Wow, that is really dense. 30-gallon barrels they're using.
Okay.
Which is,
It's pretty small, 53 gallons of standard barrel size.
yeah, that's a decent small barrel. Like it's yeah.
That's 90 proof, 45%.
Ooh, I like it.
What
Oh,
is
it's
that?
woody.
What is that?
It's oil. It's a much more wood oil on the palate. And it starts with
It's
wood
like
oil.
it's like a little kind of crisped up edged barrel char with the oakiness.
Yeah, it's actually really oak first, followed by everything you smell. I did not expect the oak to be that dominant in the palate after the nose, because in the nose it's small.
Here's the thing, it's the front leading flavor, but it doesn't just bludgeon you over the head, and it doesn't, just kind of take over the entire shell. It does pretty quickly seed ground to the sweeter stuff that's in there with it.
But going back, I can smell more wood char in the nose than I did before.
You know what though? Halfway through it comes across as kind of, it's dense on the nose, a dense sweetness. But on the taste, it gets a little thin and the flavors become kind of washed out. But I'm left with, what is that, a vanilla? There's a lot of stuff going on. I can't figure out whether or not I'm in love with it.
It must be the 4-grain. I'm not in love with it, but I'm enjoying this progression of things.
Yeah.
Oh, wow! Okay, you need to experience what just happened.
Yes.
If you add just a little bit of water, the nose becomes wood oil and wax, and the palate, that wood note, just dominates the entire palate. It's all wood wax with a sugar coating.
Waxed wood.
Wow. Huh. That becomes really oaky all of a sudden.
Yeah,
It washes out the sugars.
it does. And that thinness that it was threatening to give me early on, it definitely, once you put a little bit of water in there, washes out the sugars, and it just leaves you with the oakiness.
You know what's weird? It reminds me of times as a kid when you got like a caramel apple and you ate too much of the caramel exterior off, and all of a sudden all your bites were just an apple and it wasn't fun anymore. You're like, now I'm just eating an apple. That's
Fruit.
right? Yeah. It's like you had this sugar sweet layering over this wood oil.
Yeah.
And you add a little water and it just strips all the sugars away. And that's just wood oil bourbon.
I'm going to share with you the dumbest, lamest game that I have been playing
You've been playing?
by myself
What?
in my bed alone for years.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you get an apple.
Okay.
All right. And you bite an apple, and it
Right.
has to be the perfect size and the perfect crispiness.
Okay.
And in one chunk, I try to get the apple to split, to fracture, and then have that wrap all the way around the apple and go at least halfway around the apple.
How do you fracture it?
Well, you bite on the top, and then you kind of pull the apple so it cracks, and then that crack has to go down side of the apple and then wrap up under. Now then, here's the tricky bit. Because if you can get it more than halfway, which is very rare, like 1 out of 10 times, you get more than halfway. So now you have the other side. So you completely, go completely around an apple, taking all of the skin off in 2 bites. Wow. I've done it twice.
Oh.
In like 10 years of doing this.
I don't feel like that's a game.
How is this not a game?
Is game the right word for that?
How is this not a game? I do make a lot of games.
Yeah.
I do make a lot of games out of things that probably shouldn't be games. My children's favorite thing to do with me is just make up games.
All right.
It's called make up game.
Make up game.
Yeah.
All right.
And then we make up a game. It's like, what do we have? All right, let's make up a game. Yeah. Do you want to play my game?
The apple game?
Yeah.
No.
So that means, though, this is fine. This is fine.
Take your apple and go home.
This is fine. That means I am the all-time undisputed world grand champion of this game.
Yes, I will cede that ground.
Okay.
Yes. It's all yours.
You know what, though? The more I go back, like, the thing that was most impressive to me, the thing that I most enjoyed, was that oaky surprise. It's like, wow, it kind of like has these charred, crisped up oaky edges, and then it unfolded and gave way to the sweeter things. And now, the more I go back to it, that surprise of that kind of crisped up oak blackened edges, that doesn't really stay thick in front and center. And if that was the thing that I liked the most.
It does if you don't have water.
Well,
that's why I dumped it and started over.
Okay, hold on.
It loses a step with water added.
Okay, there we go. Let's do this right here. We're doing the thing. Doing the thing with this. Can't believe you don't want to play my apple game. And there's certain kind of apples, like a red delicious apple. What are you doing?
Those are worse. Why are they even named red delicious? It's the worst apple.
Yeah, I think they took the name because they realized they had a shoddy product.
Yeah.
And
terrible apple.
You either do like top tier S class. It's the Honeycrisp.
Oh, Honeycrisp and Fuji are my 2 favorites.
Then you go A is Fuji, Red Delicious. What are you doing? Get out of here.
Boy.
Martin Clinning.
Like, use Red Delicious to sell houses in a model home.
Right. It's like nobody's meant to eat it.
No.
Right.
No.
It's just it looks good, but. Mark Clinning. Daniel, I think the term you were looking for would be elegant.
Yes.
It is a wine term for wines that are softer and not as powerful.
Yeah, so we had encountered this a lot of times, and we do use that word in wine a lot. I'd forgotten about that. This idea of something that's soft but not boring, and soft but complex, right? So it's not punchy, and it's not aggressive, and it doesn't have any sharp points, but it's not boring, it's got complexity, it just has this softness to it.
Yeah.
And I agree, elegant, perfect word for that.
I gave it a few minutes to find its footing.
Well, we re-poured the glass.
No, beyond that. Like, just, it was a similar thing with the whiskey we had a few days ago. There's very vegetation.
Oh, and then we left it sit for
Basically, if you give it a minute and then you come back to it. And that one, the thing that I didn't like, I was able to find if I just took a step away from the glass for a minute. But this, the thing that I liked, I can find again.
Yeah.
I just can't be sipping too often. I gotta let it all fade away, and then I can reapproach. And I like that oakiness.
I agree.
Jay O'Brien. I have a local distiller in St. Louis that will let you buy a barrel of their whiskey, hold in their racks, and let you taste to decide when it is ready to bottle.
Yeah.
Instead of letting you just sample and bottle an already aged barrel. Yeah,
yep.
Cool.
There are a bunch of craft distilleries that are doing that. It's a way to basically get like upfront capital to fund distillery growth and things like that. And I think it is a great idea.
The only way they can get screwed is if somebody forgets the barrel's there. Or they decide, 20 years from now, I'm going to come in and keep sampling this.
It's all gone.
Keep it stored there and keep taking it warehouse space. But it's a great idea other than that. Yeah. Use that for what you will. Here's to fighting, stealing, and drinking.
If you fight me, I fight for a friend.
If you steal, may you steal your lover's heart.
And if you drink, may you drink with us.